We're gonna learn about your deepest, darkest secret.
Yeah, let's see how that goes.
Hello, welcome back to our channel.
Hi.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Lucy.
And today we're going to be doing something really fun, and it's pretty much a personality test. So I'll be reading off my phone, and a lot of questions I have will be geared towards Lucy, and then she'll be answering the questions. Just so that you know, really does not mean anything about Lucy. It's kind of like a fun activity you can play with your friends, and it's a very short test, and you probably don't want to read too much into it if you are doing this test. And we're just doing this as a fun activity. A friend of mine has done this on me before, and I think it was very interesting to think about my behaviors and my thoughts and personality. There's no psychological research backed up by this, and this is meant all for entertainment. So the CUBE test was developed by a Japanese psychologist who wanted people to be able to gain quick insights into their lives and their personality. And this is a very interesting way of seeing how you perceive life, and then you'll see that based on the results you get. So in this test, you're supposed to imagine a scenario. So a lot of the questions I'm going to be asking you, you kind of want to imagine that in your head, and then see what pops up, what are the things you're seeing, and the objects you're seeing. And then later on, after we're done with the whole test, we will go through and analyze what those different types of things you saw. But there's no right or wrong answer. It's just based on how you are feeling, what you imagine.
Actually, never heard of the CUBE test before, but I'm very excited to see what the results are.
We're gonna learn about your deepest, darkest secret.
Yeah, let's see how that goes.
Okay, so you can do this with your eyes open or with your eyes closed, whatever works best for you. First, imagine you're in the desert. The desert is incredibly large. Sitting in the desert is a cube. Do you see it? How big is a cube? What exactly is it? Is it buried in the sand, or is it sitting on top? What is it made of? What is the color of the cube? What is the size? Where is it located? Imagine a ladder where the cube is now. How long is it? What is its relation to the cube? Now that you see the ladder, we'll move on. A horse has appeared in the desert. What does the horse look like to you? Is the horse tied up or roaming freely? Where is the horse in relation to your cube? So now that we have an idea of the cube, the ladder, and the horse, let's let that play in your mind for a moment, and then we'll continue. Now you see flowers. Where are they in your desert vision? Are they close to everything or far away? Where are the flowers located? And how large are the flowers? How many flowers do you see? And where are they in relation to your cube? Great, now that you have an idea about the flowers, there is a storm brewing. Visualize that. Where is the rainstorm located? Is it near or far? How large is the rainstorm or storm? Is it windy or raining? What are some of the characteristics? Is it dark and cloudy? And how is the storm affecting your vision? Now that we have painted a whole picture of these objects, and Lucy was able to visualize everything, we're going to be going through some analysis, and she's going to be sharing some of the things that was going on in her head. And you could definitely follow along with us to see like if these are some of the things that you had also imagined in your head. And now we'll go through each scenario. The cube represents you. The size of the cube is your ego.
Wow.
So how much do you want to share? If I tell the whole world you have a huge ass ego, you can do that too, if you feel comfortable sharing.
I guess in my head it was the size of me.
Size
Pretty
of you.
big.
Great. What is it made of?
It's hard to tell, but it was very shiny and almost like a mirror.
Okay. So it determines your feelings or personality.
Shiny.
How you think about the cube is how you think about yourself. If the cube is strong in its walls, then you feel strong in yourself. The distance between you and the cube reflects your understanding about yourself. So when you visualize the cube, can you imagine or remember how far it was?
It wasn't that far from me, it was pretty close.
Okay, so you have a clear understanding about yourself. If the cube is far away, then it means that you do not feel close to your inner self. If the cube is transparent, it means that you let people see through you. So you're very open. People can read your mind easily when your cube is transparent. When your cube is rough, you're very straightforward and honest, and sometimes too overbearing. It's bumpy, you're indecisive at times, but very strong-willed. I know these aren't yours, but I'm just going through some of the examples that people might be imagining. If it's wooden, you're grounded and down to earth. And if it's light or dark, it's how heavy you feel with burdens. The ratio of the cube to the desert is how you think about yourself in this world. The bigger the ratio, the bigger your ego is. The small ratio means that you recognize that you are just one part of this world and there are many beings out there besides you.
I feel like my cube was not stand up normally, like most cubes. It's more like tilted in an angle, kind of, for some weird reason, like it's able to hold off itself on a
One of the
angle.
edges?
Yes, one of the edges.
Okay.
And so my ladder was right over that.
I don't think there was representation of that.
My ladder was right over that.
Over it? What do you mean? It was leaning on it?
And leaning against it, like going up. Like a regular ladder, you would climb up something.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the ladder represents your goals. The length of the ladder shows the scale of your goals. The shorter the ladder, the more simple the goal. The location of the cube is also important. Do you remember the length of the ladder?
Well, I guess it was definitely went over the cube,
So
like
it's
on
bigger
top
than the
of.
cube for
So
sure.
it's bigger than me because the cube was the size of myself.
Okay, cool. So the location of the cube is also important. The distance of the ladder with the cube determines the focus and effort that you are currently investing on your goals. So if your ladder is close to your cube, then you are making all effort to achieve and assist your goals. So I guess it was next to it, leaning on it, so I guess you are. If the ladder is leaning on your cube, you may have a big goal to achieve.
Wow, that's very
Is that true? Great. I see, I can read minds. If your ladder is over the cube, you may feel your goals are too hard to achieve or you don't have what you need. If it is under your cube, you are someone who likes to be on top of things but can become too independent and not ask for help. Next is the horse represents your ideal partner. Who would have thought your
Wow,
horse is your ideal partner? Anyways, do you want to give us an idea of like where your horse or what it was doing or where it
It was
was?
just by itself in the calm distance.
Distance?
Yeah. It wasn't like it was right next to the cube, but it wasn't very close to it. Like it wasn't touching. Like you can take a picture out of frame if you want to.
Okay, that's good to
So it
know.
was in the distance, but it was also close enough to feel like it's like if you're watching from a distance, you see wow a random cube and a horse right next to it. But if you're right next to it, there's enough distance for the horse to roam.
Can you give us more idea of what the horse looks like or what the horse was doing or
Yes.
what the personalities or attributes of that horse?
Well, it was very still, almost as if it was taking a picture.
Oh, like it was ready. It was like photo ready.
Yes, photo ready. It's a beautiful white horse, very majestic looking. It's almost as if the wind is blowing its hair and its hair is just flying on the side. But it's a white horse and it's just standing there doing nothing.
Doing nothing. Great. If the horse looks strong and hardworking, then you deserve a dependable partner. If the horse was close to your cube, then you are someone who needs a strong connection to their partner. If your horse was in a distance that you possibly feel detached from the relationship or you feel strongly independent in them. If your horse is beautiful, then you have a love that is beautiful on all levels, or you desire a love that is true. If your horse was being sheltered by the cube, then you are dependable and desire the same qualities in others as you have in yourself. If your horse was tied up, then you or your partner may feel trapped or stuck in the same old. There may be intimacy issues or even a want for more real connection. Your overall impressions of the horse reflects the impressions you have of your partner. The color of the horse will also reflect your emotions and feelings in your relationship. Moving on to the flower visualization. Do you want to give us an example of like what the flower looked like, where it was in relation to the other visualized objects?
Actually, it was right under the horse.
Great!
It was around the horse.
Oh, pretty. What kind of flowers, colors, anything?
It was very colorful. It's almost like a field of flowers. and they're pretty tall,
Okay.
and they were colorful. All the colors.
So the flowers represent your family and friends. The number of flowers determines your connections and how close you are to them. Do you remember being a bunch of flowers or a little flower?
A bunch of flowers.
So a bunch of flowers suggests you have a close group of friends you rely on. A row or more flowers suggests that you have levels of connections. Some have stayed and some have gone. The location of the flower determines how close you are with your social group. And the color of the flower may also describe your current feelings towards your peers.
I think a variety of friends coming from different places, having different backgrounds, and I think I have an abundance of friends who are very supportive and help me in different ways. And so I guess that makes sense with the field of flowers that I'm seeing that's all over, under a horse, close to my cube, a little bit further, all over the place.
The storm now is the last visualization we have. Do you want to give us an idea of what that storm looks like?
It was all over the place.
It was all over the place?
All over the desert.
All over the desert? What kind? Was it rainstorm, thunder?
It was just cloudy, more of, and then drizzles, but very cloudy and dark.
And dark. So the storm represents the obstacles in your life. If the storm is close to the cube, then you are experiencing some emotional, mental hardships, hard situations right now. If the storm is in a distance, then you have overcome many challenges and will continue towards victory. And if you see the storm pass through, it suggests that you can handle anything that comes your way. And if the storm is out of control, it may suggest that that is what you feel like in regards to a situation. That was it. That was the whole cube test. Thank you for participating, Lucy, and sharing all of your intimate secrets with us that you didn't realize. What are your thoughts about this whole test?
I thought it was pretty interesting. I feel like I've done it before, but maybe it was a long time ago. I didn't realize that each object can symbolize such a big part of my life, and then how I see it has a representation of how I feel about that thing, and how it correlates to each other is really dependent on where I place it. And I didn't realize that, a cube could mean myself, or the ladder could mean opportunities and my thoughts, and then the gray clouds, which I knew was a bad thing, would mean obstacles in my life. So I think overall it's pretty interesting test that really measures what you think. It's just hard to relate, before you even start the test, how do you know the ladder is supposed to be you? Just placing a random ladder anywhere.
Yeah.
And same thing with the clouds. Who knows? You're just watching movies and you're in your head, the desert looks like that, and it's just if there's a storm, that's what it would look like. And so it's kind of hard to really think about anything else. But I guess when she explained everything to me, it kind of makes sense and kind of relate or correlate to some things I've been going through, or things that I noticed too that just make me more aware of it.
It's really hard to start visualizing things that
just randomly pop in the desert. Okay.
You don't see that happen every day. So in a nutshell, this is a cube personality test. It uses a variety of objects and then some of your qualities, and then their relationships to each other, supposedly something to do with your personality. But yeah, we hope you really enjoy this video, and you should definitely check it out. I will link in the description the cube test so you can take it by yourself or with your friends just to see and talk about some of these deeper meanings behind these objects. Really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please leave a comment below and let us know if you've ever tried the cube test, or if you're thinking about trying it and what your results were. And then if you really enjoyed this video, also give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel so you can get our updates. Bye!